Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Welcome aboard. We're live in downtown Vegas. Circa Resort and Casino is the spot. We'll get into tonight's basketball card coming up in about 15 minutes. Derek Stevens, owner, CEO of this great property, makes his weekly appearance coming up at the bottom of the hour. And perfect timing today with our next guest. Dan Leberfeld joins the program, Jets Confidential magazine. He is co-host of Press Coverage Saturdays from 10 until 2 Eastern on SiriusXM Radio. You can follow him on X at Jets Whispers. In Vegas for a couple of extra days. Decided to be really kind and drive down to Circa, get a ride down to Circa and say hello and pop on the show. Great to meet you.
Great to be on. Well, what pressure leading into Derek Stevens?
Yeah, but he's the man of the people, though.
Okay.
A billionaire owner that anybody can relate to, which is very uncommon, you would think.
Especially in the NFL.
Yeah. So the reason why I said you're the first of all, you cover the entire league. You're a great guest anyway. But with the news today with Mike Tomlin, he announced that he's stepping away as the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers for 19 years. And for like the last handful of years, you would hear it all the time down the stretch. Steelers fans are doing the fire Tomlin chants. Time to go. Time for a new voice. Let's move on here. As a guy who covers the Jets up close and you have done that for many, many years, don't you think they'd sign up for what he did in Pittsburgh like every single day of the week, and multiple other NFL franchises would do the same thing?
Absolutely. He is one of the gold standard coaches in the league. And to me, we were talking a little bit off the air, and I teased my theory on this, which you're not going to hear in the echo chamber, is that I blame the personnel department here. They made so many bad decisions. They wasted Aaron Rodgers. I mean, they made the playoffs, but in a bad division. They wasted Tomlin's last year. I'm going to go over a few of them. First of all, the secondary is terrible. They bring in Darius Slay, can't run anymore. Jalen Ramsey doesn't run well anymore. And you look at Joey Porter, he's never fast, even go back to Penn State. Slow secondary. And then you look at the fact that they paid two longtime veterans who threatened them in training camp in the summer, Cam Hayward and Watt. We want a new contract. No. You don't give older veterans new contracts because of sentimentality in a cap sport. Belichick was the best at that in New England. When he said, Richard Seymour, Richard, we love you, but see, we're not paying you at 29. Paid two veterans who are on the wrong side of the mountain a lot of money. And here's the worst part about it, the offensive line. I mean, we could say Broderick Jones got hurt. Broderick Jones wasn't good. I covered the Jets-Patriots game in week 1. He was a turnstile. So bad offensive line, bad secondary, and paying older vets. I blame Omar Khan and the personnel department more than I blame Tomlin and Aaron Rodgers. I think this is a poorly constructed team.
Very good.
I don't disagree.
Interesting. That is. How about the losing streak, though? They're not have a playoff win since 2016.
Well, I think that a lot of that has to do. I know Big Ben was there part of the time, but just trying to figure out that quarterback position.
Yeah,
Big Ben
fair.
at the end wasn't the same. Getting rid of the ball too fast, and then Mason Rudolph and all these other guys. Whose plan was it to bring in the two guys last year, Russell Wilson and Justin Fields? What kind of plan is that? I know Mike Tomlin had a lot of power, and it wasn't like the GM was forcing everything on him, but, man, did they make some bad personnel decisions. I'm telling you, they wasted a season where that could have been a lot better. Because when you overpay veterans, when you get sentimental with guys on the D-line, you neglect the O-line and the secondary.
Yeah, what'd you make of the other news today? Patullo out, OC is Philadelphia. Also, same thing in L.A. with the Chargers. And Greg Roman's also gone.
You know what's amazing to me with Greg Roman is that the O-line coach was fired also. You fire the O-line coach with both franchise tackles out. To me, when you hear these stories this time of year of this coordinator being fired or this position coach, 9 times out of 10, it's the owner. It's like he needs some throw somebody under the bus, But the head coach and the GM have to sit out there and act like it was their idea. These are usually owner moves. Why would you fire the O-line coach? I know you asked me about the OC, but to me, these kind of moves have owners written all over them. They got to do something. They need a pound of flesh.
Okay, because that does make a lot of sense what you're saying there, because clearly when Slater goes down and then out not that many weeks after that, you're taking 2 of your best players on the entire team and 2 of the best tackles in the entire sport off the same team, and you expect it to just be okay? Like the O-line coach is going to be able to fix that on his own?
Yeah, and then the backup tackles got hurt. Salyer and the other guy, forgot his name, the right tackle got hurt. So they were down to the third-string tackles at sometimes during the year. As far as Patullo, you knew he was going to be sacrificed. But we had Sal Palantonio on the show a couple weeks ago, who follows the Eagles closer than anyone, and he said this is not Kevin Patullo's fault. I mean, you see the stuff going on there, not Patullo's fault. There were people open all the time. The quarterback wasn't seeing him, but you knew he was gone. They're going to do what they did the last time. A couple years ago, they had a nondescript offensive coordinator, and then they replaced him with a rock star coordinator, Kellen Moore. This time, they did the same thing with Patullo. They're going to go out and get the best OC on the market, pay him big bucks like they did with on defense with Vic Fangio.
They will land somebody like Mike McDaniel, probably.
Yeah, they'll spend whatever it takes.
Okay. Jets are picking second overall in the draft. When you look at the betting market for odds on number one overall pick, the Raiders have that pick, obviously. Mendoza's like minus $12, right? So huge favorite. Dante Moore's the second choice. Assuming for a second Mendoza is the first pick overall, do the Jets by default go Moore?
Well, here's the issue, and you guys follow the college game closer than I do. Isn't a really high-profile transfer quarterback going into Oregon?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. So maybe Moore's going to be forced out. I mean, that's the deal in Alabama. Alabama's got a 5-star coming in. That's why Ty Simpson might transfer, get $5-6 million, and not, go into the draft. With Dante Moore, is he going to be forced out there because he'd get a lot of money in the portal, or will Phil Knight pay him as much as he'd get in the first round? But as far as Dante Moore, I don't know if that's a good market fit. I don't know if it's a guy who's ready to roll. Jets have so many needs.
Yes.
That their defense is the worst defense. I've covered the team 30 years. Is the worst defense I've ever seen.
How do you go a season without a pick?
It's unbelievable.
How can that happen?
The linebackers and secondary, terrible at reading their keys. The instincts are bad. The pass rush was bad. So to me, I'm not saying you pick this guy at 2. They might have to go quarterback if Moore's there at 2. Jacob Rodriguez of Texas Tech, they need a guy like that so bad. They got guys at linebacker with the green dot and all that, not calling the things right, not getting guys lined up. They need a quarterback on defense as much as they need a quarterback on offense. And Jacob Rodriguez is one of the most instinctive linebackers to come out of college since Luke Kuechly.
Okay, noted. I'm going to definitely write this down and pay attention to
that. But not at 2. No, I'm not crazy, Jacob. Not at 2, but later.
But maybe you can find like who the Jets pick in the first round, second pick, whatever it's going to be, and that might be available as a market that you can bet into. Dan Leberfeld, our guest, you can follow him on X. He's at Jets Whispers and NFL Radio as well. Co-host press coverage Saturdays at 10 o'clock Eastern time. In New York, we had a guest on earlier who back around Christmas said, if you can find John Harbaugh to the Giants, and he was available at about 16-1, he said, take a little bit of a flyer on that. And again, at the time, Ravens still had a chance to win the division, make the playoffs. He's no longer there. He's the betting favorite now to become the next head coach of the G-Men. Does that happen?
Well, the issue there would be, how much do you believe in Jackson Dart? How long is he going to last with his style of play? Now, you got to admire his toughness. He's tough as boot leather. He's doing all that stuff. But what was he in the tent 5 times this year? Like, how sustainable is that? And how good is he at processing? These Ole Miss quarterbacks come out, and everything is dialed up perfectly for him with Lane Kiffin before and Charlie Weiss and the gang at Ole Miss. They're one read and run quarterbacks. So they come to the NFL, Matt Corral, right? And it doesn't work out because of the fact they have to process. I'm not sold on Jackson Dart. And if you're John Harbaugh and you got one more bite at the apple in terms of taking another head coaching job, do you believe in Jackson Dart to that degree that that's going to be the bite at the apple you take? I'm not 100% sure.
How about Atlanta? Easy division?
It's funny about Atlanta, to me, if they keep Cousins.
Uh-huh.
The other guy, he's basically had like 3 ACL repairs.
Yeah.
He's had both shoulders repaired. How long is he going to hold up? Penix. And to me, if I'm Harbaugh, I'd want to go there with Cousins for a year or 2. Maybe put Penix on ice. Is Penix a guy that if you're Harbaugh, like, I got to go coach Penix? He's good, not great.
I want to like him a lot, but I can't get there yet. Like, I loved him at Washington. The guy was dynamic and super accurate, threw a great ball, but at the NFL level, we just haven't seen it enough yet, right?
Right, and look how much money Kirk Cousins made Kyle Pitts. Look when Kirk Cousins went into that lineup, how Kyle Pitts exploded. After 3.5 years or so, people said, this guy's a bust. No, because he had Ritter, and Penix isn't Ritter, but he didn't have a veteran quarterback getting in the ball. All of a sudden, Kyle Pitts owes Kirk Cousins a big Christmas gift next year. He made that guy a lot of money in free agency because he knows how to see the field and get everyone involved. I'm not sure about Penix being that guy as far as a full field reader.
You mentioned it was the worst defense you've ever seen since you've covered the team. No interceptions, only forced 3 turnovers. How did Glenn survive this? He's a defensive guy.
Well, I think he survives because his contract numbers never came out in the public. But since Ben Johnson got $13 million a year, I'm saying Aaron Glenn is in the $10 to $11 million a year, and I don't think they have the stomach to eat out 4 years, maybe $45 million. Woody Johnson, the Jets owner, is surrounded by lawyers and money men, and they didn't have very good attendance this year. It's not like the Raiders down the road here printing money with sold-out games and all these lawyers sponsoring them. Is there a city in the country that has more injury attorneys than Las Vegas? I can't believe all these billboards.
The billboards when you're driving around town?
Yeah. Enough said, call Ed, baby.
You got them all memorized. There you go.
Yeah.
We have like a minute left here. Do you have a best bet that you like in the divisional round?
A best bet. Let's see. I don't want to say best bet, but I like Buffalo. I just can't go with Bo Nix against Josh Allen. Bo Nix, have you seen the sparring between Sean Payton and that columnist Kisla? I don't know if you've had him on the show. The sparring and the press conferences. Kisla has basically been writing in one of the Denver papers that I'm not buying this. This is a house of cards. I mean, Sean's doing a great job, but that quarterback, how much would you trust that quarterback? So I can't go with Bo Nix against Josh Allen.
All right.
So I'm not gonna say lock, slam, dunk, but I like Buffalo.
Great spot, Dan.
Good job.
Pleasure to meet you. Thanks so much for coming in today. We appreciate
Great to meet you guys. You guys do a great job. Great chemistry and great entertainment.
Appreciate that.
So you're listening to this podcast because you want an edge. But what if I told you you're only halfway there? You've got the mindset. Now it's time to get the toolkit to match. Here's the thing. Pro bettors spend thousands on data and tools, but what they don't want you to know is you can get the same edge for a fraction of the cost with VSiN Pro. With VSiN Pro, you get access to expert picks, public betting data, prop projections, powerful tools, analytics, and more. Tap the link in the description and see why thousands of bettors are already using VSiN Pro to cash more bets.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Derek Stevens on the program coming up in 15 minutes. A lot to get into with him, where they're seeing early action for the divisional round. How did the results go for the wild card round? Busy day today in the NFL with news as Mike Tomlin decided to step down today after 19 years of being the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. That was 7-6 last night. Late third quarter, early fourth quarter.
10-6, 11 minutes left.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh ball. C.J. Stroud making a mess.
Did you have a feeling that it was going to be typical voodoo magic again?
I thought for sure the Steelers were winning the game.
Because Stroud was trying to say, hey, guys.
That's a Tomlin special.
I don't want to win the game. I'm going to put the ball on the field one more time.
Yeah.
Why don't you bring out Boswell and we'll turn it into a field goal fest? You'll win 12-10.
They didn't play a good first half. They're only down one. The Pittsburgh special coming in that Cousin Sal always talks about. The halftime, full time. I'm like, this is going to be 16-13, isn't it? All Rodgers needs is one drive. Hit the big shot, maybe to Austin. They thought they had the PI call, but they couldn't hit anything deep. And then the dump-offs weren't there to Gainwell. And then, bam, the scoop and score. And that's all she wrote. And then it got out of control, and very disappointed in the defense to let go of the rope. As Aikman said, we didn't have two people, no one had this over the weekend. How the Patriots DBs shut down the Charger wide receivers and no one could get open, and how Houston gashed Pittsburgh on the ground.
Killed them on the ground.
And then they just gave up. That was a 1st and 15 run that Marks took in, untouched for that touchdown.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't think the Texans are going to be able to run like that on the Patriots. I don't think that's happening.
Okay, well, I think he can get 80 yards, though. I think if they stick with it, they'll have success on the ground. I think they did it against the Chargers, too. And they got away from it. They're too pass happy. And you shouldn't do that with a quarterback who's prone to turnovers. And Stroud also did that. 2 bad picks in the Charger game.
What do we make of the total at around 41 in that game?
Yeah, I think that's too high.
Too high? Again, we could see where another low-scoring one, Texans defense involved. Like, I never am going to make the case for a Texans game to go over. I can't do it. Unless the number's 28 or something silly like that, which would never get down to. But at 41, Like if it was 41.5, that being a key number, I would be definitely on under 41. I could obviously, play it out number, whatever.
Well, that's how they're going to have to win. They're going to have to win 16-13. And like they did that 17-16 win at Tennessee with Mills. You're going to have to use the play action, find the tight end, get Schultz involved, have another big game from Kirk, and maybe take a deep shot to Higgins. But this guy cannot continue to turn the ball. I mean, 5 fumbles. And the interception was terrible.
Here's what I do know. The Patriots, without any question, have a huge edge in this game at quarterback.
Mm-hmm. No question.
And I can say that with May in year 2. And we have a bigger sample size in Stroud, but we've gotten a reaction on that today. How is it possible that every time we watch Stroud play, he seems to be getting worse?
No doubt. Very disappointing.
He was incredible as a rookie.
Yeah.
Like, where did that guy go?
It was supposed to be a 3-win team. Took them to the playoffs. Won a game.
So
the other thing is you got to give Vrabel's. Ryan's done an incredible job. They've won 10 in a row. Vrabel's awesome.
No, I mean, would agree.
For Tennessee to get rid of that guy after they were a 1 seed. And that guy went in playoff games with Ryan Tannehill throwing for 90 yards. Just to lean into the rushing attack, play defense, and field position. So Vrabel's going to be a tough out as well.
How have you bet this game so far?
The first half and game. And, the 2.5 was out there right away. But I've been riding the Patriots here with this. It's also coaching. 15-3 ATS in the first half, 16-1-1 on a money line, 13-0-1 last 14. They get off to hot starts. It holds up. They do a good job with May. Maybe Diggs catches a deep ball. But Mac Hollins' injury is big, too. No one's getting that's not getting enough attention. That's a key loss for New England.
I would say that with those numbers in the first half, I'll tie in how the Saints were so bad in the first quarter the entire year. That's not even a trend.
That's who you are.
That's a team tendency, and that's who you are to begin these games.
Now, here's the other thing. This is where we disagree. I think they can have success on the ground. Now, it didn't work out for the Chargers. But again, New England, weeks 10 through 18, they allowed 4.7 yards per carry, 130 yards a game, and 8 touchdowns. You will say they got key guys back, but also I thought Greg Roman embarrassed himself Sunday night. And Collinsworth agreed. With no creativity, no screens, no draws, don't slow down the pass rush. New England was 26th in sacks and 23rd in DVOA, and you made them look incredible, unstoppable.
Yeah.
And the substitution stuff was egregious.
No, that's where we're not agreeing on this game at all. I don't think we're going to get Marks and Chubb doing much in the game at all, and then it's going to come down to C.J. Stroud, and he's too much of a wild card for me. Like, the defense is clearly good enough to win the entire thing, as long as this guy doesn't screw it up. He screwed it up over and over and over again last night. And I put him in the same category as a lot of these other guys that, come playoff time, can't really trust.
Well, not having Nico Collins is huge.
Sure.
That is tough. But they still have enough weapons with that defense to go to the Super Bowl.
That they do.
What a story that would be. And again, that's the first time since 1950 in a playoff game. You score 2 defensive touchdowns and hold your opponent under 10 points.
As much as I like May, and what I just said about him, where they have the clear edge at quarterback, the Texans defense obviously is going to have a say in that, and it's not going to be. It's way easier said than done having a great game against this unit, because as I tried to run down earlier, to me, if you would lay out every offense or defense on the field and compare which one at its absolute peak is the best, to me, the Rams offense, when it's humming, is very tough to beat. This Texans defense, I think, might be the best unit in football when they show up with their absolute A-plus game. They're that good.
When they dial up that pressure, that's right.
They got guys on every single level that are just insane.
Okay. And a big game coming from the Denver offense. Bo Nix. Sean Payton off a bye in the playoffs. 4-0 straight up. Average margin 14 points per game. Salty all week. Disgusted with how they looked in the Charger game. 0 of 3 in the red zone. Also, as much we've talked about, and it's true, horrible spot for the Niners. Another tough turnaround for the Bills.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, okay. Fair.
You lost more guys. He's got 3 healthy wide receivers against a nasty defense, and I got Surtain.
Can you give me the games in which they're 4-0 after the bye?
Who the opponents were with the Saints?
All of those games were with Drew Brees.
Okay. Yeah.
There is a Grand Canyon size drop-off from Drew Brees to Bo Nix.
This guy's a hell of a coach, though. And those are strong numbers with time to prep and prepare.
I don't know.
But that is fair. Well, he's had a couple bad moments, no doubt about it.
He's had plenty of bad moments.
But this is the wild card here with Knicks. But Knicks did play well against the above-average teams. When Knicks looked terrible was against the bad teams. So that's what I like, where he'll come out and shine now that it's the playoffs and they're playing the, quote, elite teams or above-average teams. He was awful against the Jets. He was awful against the Raiders. He was terrible against Kansas City in a Christmas game.
Okay,
he was awful for 3 quarters against the Giants.
Are you going to hate yourself on Saturday night when Bo Nix does not do enough to outplay and score enough points than Josh Allen? Because
I'm also not leaning on Nix as much as I know that Peyton knows you can run all day on this team and he won't get away from it like Cohen did. And lean on that rushing game.
Okay. I look back again. They were fortunate in week 1 to beat Tennessee. That was
they were sloppy with the ball.
Yeah, that's Cam Ward's first game. That should have been easier than what it was.
Bo Nix was terrible in that game, too.
Yeah, he was. They never should have won at Philadelphia. They did.
Right.
The London game against the Jets, one of the ugliest games I've ever seen. Yep. And the Jets are an absolute stink bomb, lucky to win the game. Then next week, at home to the Giants. I get it, horrible spot. There was no bye week. They had to come back from, 26-8 in the fourth quarter to win the game? They had to have a zillion things go their way. They won at 33-32. The game at Houston had to have the Stroud injury. Lucky to beat Vegas on that Thursday night, 10-7. Mm-hmm. Got by the Chiefs the first time they played, 22-19. The Washington game, again, a miracle that they won it.
He played well in that game.
Loving the Packers were doing whatever they wanted.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence went there and put the Jacksonville flag at the 50-yard line.
Well, hold on.
Never a game.
Give him some credit for the Packer game.
Well,
he went up and down the field. He played well in that game, but...
And then you had to play the backups for the Chiefs and the Chargers, and you look like that?
That was bad. That could have been 6-3 in the fourth quarter. They got the pick 6 early.
Again, I like the defense, and it stops right there with Denver.
Mm-hmm.
And I get Josh Allen in a pick'em. I'm all about it, baby.
Oh, boy.
This is going to be Josh Allen's year.
Okay, but I know you're going to Shakir, and it can contain Cook. So then you're going to have to go with Cooks or Samuel or these tight ends who are hobbled.
That's fine.
I mean, that's fine?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they'll make it work. Enough where I have a nice bet on the Bills at pick'em.
They'll make it work.
Allen will.
This is incredible.
Is there a bigger edge?
I know Peyton's got that up. I know Peyton's talking about that, too. Hey, we're the 1 seed. We won 13 of 14. We're at a home in one of the best home field advantages, and we're underdogs to a 6 seed. I know he's talking about that.
Yeah. This is the biggest edge in the division round at quarterback? Gotta be, right?
Yes.
Yep. Derek Stevens, owner, CEO of Circa Las Vegas. His weekly appearance coming up next. We'll have him recap the action that took place in the wildcard round here at Circa and where they're seeing some respected money for the divisional round coming up next year on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Derek Stevens joins the program now, owner and CEO of this great property, Circa Resort and Casino in downtown Las Vegas. Also the owner of the Golden Gate and the D. Good to see you as always, my man. How are you today?
Real good. Good to see you.
What was the weekend like? The ceremony on Friday night here where you guys paid out all of the contest winners and they're in town now collecting up to, multiple millions of dollars.
It was great. I mean, we had obviously all 5 Circa Survivor teams out there. We had the Circa Million winner, $1 million check. We had, I think, 4 of the Circa Grandissimo, $1.15 million groups coming out. So it was good. We've never had that many $1 million checks before. In total, I believe we ended up with, 13 checks of $1 million or more. Wow. So that's an all-time record.
Wow. Great job.
And then in the ballroom, we had to open up 3 elements of the ballroom because there was that many people up there. Mike Palm was a master of ceremony. I don't know. He did this musical thing. He came up with music for everybody based on where they lived. Maybe music you listened to if it was like the 1960s or 70s, something like that. Interesting musical selection.
Okay. All right.
Interesting. Did we have a record for largest group with the split and that won one of the entries?
Yeah, we had a couple of pretty big splits. Around the. I think one was around a 15-person split. Another one was a 20. So those were the biggest.
20-person split.
Those were the biggest that we'd ever seen before. But there were also a lot that were just a couple of people. Kick your knees up. It was a couple sisters and a brother. That was it.
Wow.
It was simple.
That's it.
Yeah.
They just kept it simple.
Yeah, it was just simple.
Uh-huh.
In Circa Grandissimo, like Gamble Balls. He's been a friend of the show for a long time. Zach White. Him, and 2 other guys. That's it.
That's it on the entry.
And mostly him.
Mm-hmm.
So that was good. So it was all over. It was all over the place, really.
How were the bets coming in for the games over the weekend? And I want to ask you about the Bills-Jags game because that touched Jackson. That got close 2.5 here, right?
Yeah, we had. I told you that I thought because I was on a different day last. I think I had to pop in on Friday.
Yes.
And I had said, man, I think we're going to see some record handle. And we did. I mean, it was just humping. It was great. It was certainly the biggest weekend Circa Sports ever had. Bottom line weekend, we've never seen anything like this. So it was a heck of a weekend.
Was it like that for all the games?
And that's saying that after we lost, we needed the Steelers on Monday night, but the house had built up a pretty big booty going into Monday night. So even after getting beat up Monday night, it was still a massive weekend. Biggest weekend, like I said, biggest weekend we'd ever seen.
These are Super Bowl bets coming in, and it's only the first round. And how about all the moves went 0-4? The big moves didn't get there.
The volume was just stunning. And the number of texts that I'm on a group text with, Jeff Benson and Mike Tomlin and Chris Bentley. Hey, this guy wants 100. This guy wants 100. This guy wants 150. This guy he doesn't want 300. He wants 500. Limit 300. It's like it was awesome. It was a lot of fun.
Have you had those requests for this week as well? Not yet. Probably limits are going to go up obviously later in the week.
I haven't had anything yet. I think today's going to be a slow day. Everybody's recovering from Super Wildcard Weekend. I mean, it was 5 days of incredible football. So nothing yet, but I know next weekend is going to be it's going to be the extension. It is going to be unbelievable. 4 unbelievable games. Mm-hmm. The book here. I mean, just the retail component, the energy and vibe was. I don't know that I've ever seen it as good as this. This NFL product is unbelievable, and the way these games finished out is I'm not watching movies anymore. I'm just watching. This stuff is unbelievable. This is so good.
Yeah, the first 3 games, the team that led at the 2-minute warning lost in the first 3. How about the lack of respect for the Bears? I think you're surprised by that. It's going to be very cold in Chicago, and the Rams were 4.5. Even though the Bears continue to do this with the NFL record, 7 wins when trailing less than 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a little bit of experience coming in, but man, Rams going on the road in this cold environment. I guess I'm just a little surprised that the number's as high as it is. But like you had said, all the power ratings indicate that's where we ought to be, right?
Well, they were bumped up to 11 at some spots, at least during the week before the Carolina game. Couldn't cover that. Lucky to win it.
Yeah.
Their power rating is just absolutely sky high.
You agree with that? Everyone says this is the best team in the league. They got issues on defense and special teams, and we're lucky to survive Carolina.
Yeah, they were lucky to survive that. I mean, but obviously everybody's loving Stafford. They're loving Puka. They're loving their tight end. They're thinking about offense. So this is going to be one of the coldest games ever?
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, certainly in Chicago and for a football game in the NFL, the way it appears, yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's not Stafford's first time. Puka can handle the cold. I don't know that the temperature is going to be that much of a factor against the Rams as maybe some would think.
As a lifelong Detroit guy, you were super happy when Stafford actually won it with the Rams. You felt great for the guy. Do you want him to win another one, or he won one and that's good enough in your opinion?
No, I would definitely be a Rams fan.
You would? Okay.
Yeah.
Who do you want as your new OC in Detroit? There are some really good candidates out there now.
Yeah, McDaniel's got to take a head coaching job if offered, right? Or not.
Do you want the Browns job? I'd rather be the OC in Detroit or LA and work with Herbert. Wouldn't you?
I would think, but as I say that, I don't know the dollar differential.
Uh-huh.
What's the dollar differential between the head coaching job in one of these positions versus an OC in Detroit?
Where'd you rather live, though? That's another element.
Yeah, that's another element.
ESPN.com says their prediction is McDaniel to Cleveland.
To Cleveland?
All the intel we have on this one says the Browns are looking for an offensive-minded head coach who won't mind keeping Schwartz as the DC.
The highest paid OC last year was Chip Kelly, $6 million a year. Didn't go well. Now, I bring that up because I said last year the Lions should offer Ben Johnson like $10, $12 million a year to remain as the OC. And he got like 13, I think, from the Bears as the head coach. There's no salary cap. It's not baked in for the coaches.
Right. So, I mean, if you have a head coach an opportunity, you got to take it, basically, is what we're saying.
Because he'll get more than $10 million a year, yeah.
So how attractive is having the number one pick overall? I mean, are Raiders, are they absolutely going to go Mendoza?
Would you?
What?
Would you?
They need so much help right now.
Yeah, I agree. I trade the pick.
Now, if there's a mother load out there available, then you have to trade it. But what if they don't have an offer?
Yeah. But if Mendoza's the guy, you put everything around a quarterback. You don't play him this year, and then you. But you got to build an offensive line. You got to build. God. They got 2 tight ends and a running back. That's about it on offense.
Well, put it this way: the night that Pete Carroll got fired, immediately that took off like the combination that Brady wants as minority owner is Brian Flores as Brian Dable, head coach / OC. Now with 9 openings, and some of them are really good gigs, or other like Detroit with the OC, Flores and Dable are going to be looking at this saying, "I'm not going to go to the Raiders anymore. I got other attractive jobs, aren't they?"
Yeah, I mean, how much of a honeymoon period do you have?
A year nowadays.
Yeah, Aaron Glenn still made it though, right?
Yeah,
miraculously.
Yeah,
that's fair too. That's a good point as well. But they're saying Salah to the Raiders.
Really?
That's that. You're not going to win a press conference with that one.
Yeah.
That's a tough sell.
Hey, talking about what are you talking Salah from 49ers, formerly the Jets. You know who I really came to love? Is Coin Hop. This guy that won the Circa million.
Stockbroker?
Yeah, what a great kid. Came out with like 12 or 13 of his buddies.
Did he?
Yeah, they balled out all weekend. It was unbelievable. Bunch of guys from Brooklyn, buddies, 34-year-old kid, all about the same age. I saw him at the check ceremony. He went up to Legacy Club. They had some drinks, pictures all over. Then they had to rush out of there because they had to get to the nightclub. We're like, "What are you going? It's only 9 o'clock." No, we're wearing it. I saw him again, still wearing the coat at noon the next day up in Stadium of Swimming because I'm not taking it off. And I saw him. He got back to New York. He's still wearing the coat. It's awesome.
Did he go to bed?
I don't know.
Maybe not. All right. Derek, thank you as always. Have a good week.
Thank you.
Our best bets in pocket plays coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
To determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3 to 1 odds. Nope. 5 to 1. Nope. 10 to 1. You're on.
More good tidbits from Derek Stevens. Coin Hop, the winner of Circa Millions, went to bed and didn't know he had won. He assumed it was a chop because he had the same record. He won on the tiebreaker. He had more winning weeks. In an article up on vsin.com, check it out, Dave Tooley, he said, I guess I should have read the rules. It's incredible. That's nuts. He wins it in $1 million. And the wife said, take the jacket off already. It's starting to smell. But
oh, it smells after a weekend in Vegas, not taking it off the entire time?
Going clubbing and all that, sure, absolutely. And kind of George Costanza do the opposite and fade the public was his key to success as well. Trying to think of not going with popular picks. And he got it done and wins a tiebreaker in $1 million. It's wild. What a quote. Steelers got as high as Houston got up to 4.5. FanDuel closed the game 2.5. And then the Houston defense showed up, even though C.J. Stroud tried to keep it close. Steelers plus 3.5, no good. And we get another Fairbairn game. But Stroud let us down. Fairbairn hit from 51, but a 27-3 overrun, 1.5 made field goals, was a loser. As Stroud throws a pick in the red zone, and then the Steelers couldn't get a stop as Houston scored late, kept running the ball, and they couldn't stop them, so that was no good. But both teams to make a 35-yard field goal was a winner, and Boswell over early on in the game, 1.5. That got there. And longest touchdown lost with the pick 6. Incredible. 2 defensive touchdowns in the fourth quarter. And oh mama, if that had gone over. That's the graded. Longest touchdown, 5-1 of the under so far. Stafford MVP. Broncos pick Peyton. 4-0 off the bye in the playoffs. Average margin, 14 points per game. Tiana Taylor, that time of year, just won the Golden Globe. Best Supporting Actress for the Academy Awards, $1.70. They're going to be on the move. Get that up at DraftKings and shop that for one battle after another. She calls DiCaprio Pops, and he's okay with it. Okay.
Is she that young?
I got to look. Good question. He's up there. Boy, this guy, man, with the young girls. She's 35?
She's 35?
Is he? How old's he? Is he in the 50s? Late 40s?
Yeah.
But, yeah. Patriots first half. Money line and Patriots for the game as well. This incredible run. You are correct, Mitch. This is who they are. Well coached, buttoned up, don't beat themselves. First half, 15-3 ATS, 16-1-1 on a money line, 13-0-1 last 14. And I just think it's too much to overcome now without Collins. And I don't have a lot of confidence in Stroud. Silly turnovers and does not look like a third-year quarterback. Silly mistakes. I think the Patriots win at home. McCaffrey over receiving. Cooks over receiving for the Bills. Allen's got 3 wide receivers, three healthy wide receivers. So I think he can take a deep shot and get at least one of them to Cooks here. But certainly, Denver and Joseph are going to try to take away Shakir after what he did against Jacksonville. Good luck, everyone. Props starting to trickle out.
All right, back at you, Pauly. All right, Nico Collins, pizza money bet, most receiving yards. Right team, wrong guy. Boy, that would have been a nice one to have Christian Kirk at 400-1, huh?
Oh, I know.
Nico Collins left. So he's not playing, right, against New England. I can't imagine a scenario where he's going to be ready to go.
He's already had a concussion. He was holding his head.
Twice last night got popped in the head.
Yeah, and it wasn't as violent as when Stroud got his, but Stroud missed 3.5 games, didn't he? I don't think he's back for the AFC title game. That didn't look good.
All right, Penny bets, Stafford with you on the MVP stuff. Dart, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Gobert, Defensive Player. The Bears plus the 4.5. Bet that right away. Bills pick 'em. I agree with Tom on X. Denver's going to miss the hard inside the tackle running style of J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins, if he were healthy in this game, he's been out for half the year for the Broncos. He would be the perfect guy to exploit this Bills' porous rush defense. And I don't even know if I'd be on Buffalo at that point. R.J. Harvey, much better in the open field than he is between the tackles. And his point is Jaleel McLaughlin might be the X factor in this game. Harvey's not the guy, so watch out for McLaughlin maybe. Tonight, I got to do it. Spurs +9.
Yep, got to do it.
I lose.
That's right.
They have done a number on OKC so far this year. I get all the revenge stuff. I get all that. I also heard that on December 23rd and again December 25th, and it got worse for Oklahoma City. They're just not trending well right now.
It's a brutal matchup for them.
And I'm also on a 3-point prop for tonight. Grayson Allen for the Suns. This game tips off pretty soon against Miami. So he was out for a good 3 weeks. He's missed plenty of games this year. Came back January 5th. He was 0 of 6 from the floor. In his next game, he was 7 of 13. He hit 5 threes. The next game, 2 of 10. And the game after that, 4 of 10, and 4 of those were all 3-pointers. So the volume is getting there again. Last 3 games since coming back, 10 3-point attempts, 6, and then 9. And he was taking a ton earlier this year when he was not hurt. 8, 9, 10 a game. So if you give me 8, 9, 10 threes in this game, I can grab plus money. Remember, he was so hot to begin the year, it was 3.5 on him. So 2.5 over tonight, plus 106. I'm on Grayson Allen. Also, there's this consideration. Haven't bet it yet, but...
You concerned about the Miami flu?
No, because Phoenix, I love what we're seeing out of this team.
How about this?
They're all business now in these games.
They are tied with the Lakers for first place.
Sure.
What were they, 80-1?
They opened the year at 80-1, and they were that, I think, a month into the season. There's also this. I haven't bet it. I want to see where the number's going to go. Teams playing the second night of a back-to-back after the first game was in Colorado. And Toronto won that game last night 4-3 in overtime.
Yep.
Now they travel to Utah. There's 0 rest. 14-2 last 16 games when you fade that team. The Blue Jackets recently did it, actually. It was 14-1. They beat Utah in overtime on Sunday, but the Mammoth are $1.40 tonight, and it's been a great trend after playing the night before in Colorado.
Okay. And that's why, Jonathan Davison coming to town as the Maple Leafs take on the Knights out here Thursday. The big ESPN game with the Marner revenge.
All right.
Also, how about Fletcher over? How does Miami not give him 25 carries? He can't get 70 yards? You've got to feed him. That's the recipe. You keep Mendoza off the field. You chew clock. You have a great rushing attack. Lean on him. Shorten the game. Ton of carries. I love that kid.
Oh, he's very good.
But he can't get 70 yards?
Well, you asked. I'll try to answer. What if Indiana goes scorched earth in the first quarter? And Miami's defense has no answer for this absolute machine that we watched for the last 2 playoff games.
If I win the coin toss, I'm taking the ball.
So am I.
Miami.
Yeah.
Got to do that. We're getting ready for Big Game 60 with a big deal to match. Save $60 off the VSiN Pro annual subscription when you sign up using promo code FTM. Become a VSiN Pro annual subscriber and bet smarter all year long. Full access to every best bet, every host, every guest. The real-time DraftKings and Circa betting splits. 24/7 video, full show replays as well. All the betting guides, the madness, the Super Bowl. VSiN.com/subscribe code FTM. Save $60 off the annual subscription. FTM is the code. Go get it.
Mike Tomlin stepped down earlier today, head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Did you see that coming?
I felt it was time. I thought something was coming. You're right.
I thought, for sure, like when the game was 7-6 last night, I'm like, okay, and Stroud was terrible and Steelers might win this game. I'm like, hey, they're going to actually go to New England, aren't they? And pull this off somehow. Again, the Tomlin magic pays off yet again.
Yep.
Then it turns into a blowout. And then once Buck and Aikman started talking about him, like with a TV gig, he could do whatever he wants. There's a job waiting for him right now. I'm like, alrighty, he's probably not coming back after this. That's the first time I thought like it was absolutely real for him to be gone. Otherwise, why would Buck and Aikman even bring it up?
2017 lost to Jacksonville. 2020 lost to Cleveland. 2021 lost at Kansas City. 2023 lost at Buffalo. 2024 lost at Baltimore. And then last night. They've trailed every single snap in the second half of those games. He didn't win a playoff game since 2016. He went 8-12 in the playoffs. He left as he leaves now. He's tied the record for longest playoff losing streak.
I actually think, not with their current personnel, but I think long-term for a young coach, it's got to be a super appealing job. You go there, and if you're a winner, the job security doesn't lie. It goes back to the 60s with Noel Cowher and now Tomlin.
That's something. They say ESPN.com, Dan Graziano says Minter
All right.
is his prediction.
VSiN Prime Time next. Murray Humans will take you through the live betting evening in sports. Good luck tonight.